When you think of Africa, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Poverty? Starvation? How about lack of education? With no education, they are left with no job, and with no job, they are left with no money to eat or clothe themselves. People in Africa die every day of starvation. It is one of the world's most unhealthy, unwealthy, and poorest countries. The country was not always this way. Years ago, Mansa Musa, ruler of Mali, was the emperor of Africa, and these things never existed. In these times, it is said that Africa was one of the wealthiest countries in the whole entire world. Mansa Musa was born in the year 1280 into a family of rulers in the Kita clan. It is unknown who his parents are. Records prove that he is the grandnephew of Sundiata Keita. He was the emperor in 1255. The captain came back saying that he was the only one who survived in the huge whirlpool. No one believed him. They sent over 2,000 boats in search of these people. No one ever came back. Before Mansa Musa came to power, his name was Kan Musa. When he came to power, he got the name Musa, meaning chief, king, or emperor. So his name was King Musa. When Mansa Musa was in power, he encouraged education a lot. He built universities and libraries, and he also made education free. People came from all across the world to attend this university. This university had more students than the largest universities today. In fact, it is still standing. He also built a mosque to increase Islamic education. He built this mosque with his Islamic pilgrimage. Another one of Mansa Musa's main focuses was trade. When anyone came into the city for any type of trade, he made sure that everyone was fed, protected, and well taken care of. Since he did all of these things, it made Mali one of the most powerful empires of all time. These are not the only things that made the empire so powerful. According to New York Daily News, Time Magazine, and Independent UK, Mansa Musa is the richest person in history. His net worth is $400 billion. According to Forbes, it is more than anyone could ever explain. Mansa Musa's leadership put his and Mali's name on European, Italian, and Spanish maps. Because of his generous acts of kindness, Mali appeared on a world map. On the map, there was a picture of Mansa Musa holding a gold nugget. Mansa Musa and about 6,000 others in his pilgrimage walked the terrain of Africa with about 80 camels, all carrying gold. When he arrived, he handed out large amounts of gold to the poor, so much that he decreased the value of gold dramatically in 1324 and for the next century. He donated books in the city of Cairo to all the children. These books were traded all throughout Europe. Timbuktu was one of the major trading cities where things such as cowrie shells were traded. Cowrie shells were a huge hit in the 1400s. It was very fashionable to wear in your hair. In big cities such as Timbuktu, items were not only traded, but this was a place of religious worship. There were places such as churches in Timbuktu, including the mosque that Mansa Musa created. This was also a famous location for writing books. Mansa Musa continued his journey on the terrain of Africa and passed out gold to the poor. This made a huge economic change for the whole next century. When Mansa Musa returned, He lived for about 13 more years. It is a huge debate about his time of death. Most people say that he died around 1337, guessing in which he was around 57 when he passed away. Although there was a huge debate, the debate about his death is not most important. It is his impact on Africa and all across Europe. He helped create trading routes all across Africa. Even though he was Muslim, he did not force this upon his people. Africa did not know much about the outside world, and the outside world didn't know much about Africa. Mansa Musa tried his best to introduce them to each other. This caused more trading to go on. He showed Africa not only to Europe, but the rest of the world. He created economic stability and government for a country that was said to be the richest country in the world at the time. The European description of him is richest and most noble king of all lands. He educated Africans and expanded their trade to the outside world. Mansa Musa is an inspiration to children in Africa and all across the world. I believe that Mansa Musa is a very incredible man, and he set a great example for others. Although Africa was poor, he showed them that anything was possible and made them very wealthy. He even left some things behind, such as his mosque and his university. Mansa Musa is truly a man that will never be forgotten. He is the true definition of a king, emperor, and chief.